Well, Jonesy, how's it been since the weekend?
Oh yeah, it was obviously hard to stomach in the review yesterday. It probably felt a little bit like Groundhog Day for us, really. There's probably been some performances this year that sort of mirrored what we served up on the weekend, which is quite frustrating, really. But at the same time, we kept things in perspective. We did some things quite well. Credit to North at the same time as well. They really brought it. I thought their pressure, in particular around the ball, was quite high. It was a high pressure game, and but yeah, unfortunately we couldn't execute for long enough some of the fundamental things around our game plan to give ourselves an opportunity to win the game.
Important game this weekend up in Alice before the mid-season break, of course. How are you sort of forecasting this one?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's always good off the back of a performance when it doesn't sit so well for the group to get away and travel and galvanise again and have another crack at it, which is a positive thing. I think the fact that we play within 6 days as well is a real good thing for our group to not dwell on it too much and just sort of rebound off the back of that. And we're preparing for the Suns' best. They're coming off a disappointing loss in China, and obviously they'll be refreshed after having a bye. So it should be a pretty good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to rebound. That's for sure.
Good chance to even the ledger at 5-5 before the break. How do you sort of assess the season so far?
Yeah, I think I guess if you look at it, at times our performances have been frustrating, but I think we've played some of our best footy. We've shown real improvement in some key areas that we've focused on. I think you get the feeling sort of out there is a huge amount of expectation on the group. I think you got to keep that in perspective, though. This isn't. This has been a development phase over the last probably 2 or 3 years, and we're seeing progression and improvement. But there's also going to be some inconsistencies with our team, and it's important not to relate Melbourne's performances of the last 6 to 10 years to the team's performance over probably the last 2 years, and in particular this season. So it's important to keep that in perspective. But at the same time, I think we've got the potential to continue to climb and take big steps forward quickly. It's a matter of the team, really grabbing hold of and valuing those behaviours and standards around, the team and obviously the individual performances within that. And the quicker we get guys, taking genuine ownership of that and continuing to drive that on a day-to-day basis, and they become, habit. We're going to see inconsistencies, but we're working tremendously hard to improve that and narrow the gap between our best and worst. And I think as we mature as a team and continue to recognise those opportunities to tinker with things, particularly in game and in the moment, I think we're going to quickly take some steps forward and continue to eradicate some of those inconsistencies within our game.
You keep on keeping on your form. How do you rate it this season?
Yeah, no, it's been all right. I've probably played a couple of different roles at the same time. Trying to add some diversity to my own game. But I've really enjoyed playing a role in developing some of our key younger mids as well. And I've really enjoyed that challenge, particularly when our ruckmen have gone down and some of the areas we've had opportunities to improve at, particularly as a midfield group. I'm really impressed with what some of those guys have done, and there's probably a handful of them. It's too hard to list all of them, but I think it's really promising, the development of our younger players, and I've loved the impact of some of the senior players, Hibbo and Louis namely, that have come in and sort of helped steady the ship as well. So I'm really enjoying my footy at the moment. I've never enjoyed my footy as much as I am right now, so I'm really confident in the direction the club's heading, and the style of footy we're being coached, and the amount of effort that our development coaches and coaching team are putting into developing the right habits and style of play for this group. I have no doubt we're going to be in a terrific position going forward.